Hi, and welcome to my pitch. The project type is television with multi-camera and single camera. The show will be called Timeline. Timeline is a student-produced programme designed for students, providing coverage of a wide range of topics, including local news, upcoming events, student-exclusive discounts, culinary adventures, automotive insights, local area explorations, and a whole lot more. Timeline is a student-produced programme designed for students. The students will be producing, directing, and presenting the show. Also, there'll be students operating the 3 cameras, the lighting, the vision mixer, the audio cue, and sound. The show will be providing coverage of a wide range of topics, including local news, local upcoming events, student-exclusive discounts, culinary adventures, automotive insights, local area explorations, and a whole lot more. The show will start with the show intro, then it will go to the presenters, and the presenters will say hello and welcome to Timeline. I'm Matthew, and I'm Jack. Coming up on the show is Matthew trying his hand at cooking pesto pasta. Jack is showing us the history of Newark. The target audience would be 16 to 25, as this is the age of most college and university students. However, it will be a show for everyone that they can watch and enjoy with their family and friends. And because we're going to upload the clips to YouTube as separate clips, these could relate more to different age groups and different demographics, such as if we do an interview with Newark Business Club on how to start a business. These can relate to people who are studying business studies or wanting to go self-employed, or people just interested in business and economics. The rating would be universal because there will be no swearing in it or bad language. And if anyone did accidentally swear on air, we would apologise for it, or if we knew a clip had swearing in it, we would bleep it in the edit to get around this issue of the bad language, or we would pre-apologise of the issue and raise the rating accordingly to the show airing. And then I would expect the rating to be around a 12 area. The show will be a magazine show and live TV, and it'll also have lifestyle, factual, and entertainment. Similar TV shows are This Morning, Morning Live, The One Show, The Late Late Show, and The Hour. It is a multi-camera setup in the studio. The cameras will be set up in 3, and we'll have decided to call them TC1, TC2, and TC3. To help us know which camera is which, as TC1 will be closest to the outside window, then TC2 will be the centre camera, and then TC3 will be closest to the studio door. The centre camera will be a wide shot of the set, TC3 will be a close shot of Matthew, and TC1 will be a close shot of Jack. The cameras are named after Television Centre Studios TC1, 2 and 3, where they filmed This Morning. Again, when we pre-record the items happening in the studio, we'll use 3 cameras for different angles, but when we are filming out of the studio environment, we will use 1 or 2 cameras to still get different shot angles, but so we don't have to have 3 camera operators with us. We can either have 1 or 2, and this means we can also have additional crew such as runners, sound and lighting. As we may need to travel in the car, there is only 5 seats, so we need to make a decision on a location basis who we'll need. The format will be digital using the Sony PMW EX3 in 1920 by 1080p. However, due to the vision mixer, the current output will be below 1080p, but we are getting a new vision mixer to stream at 1080p in the near future. And for some of the pre-recorded content, again, we will use the Sony, and we'll also use a Canon camcorder, as this is lighter than the Sony and still records at 1080p. So it's perfect for some aspects of what we'll be filming such as the Walk-In series and Newark Duck Race. The lighting in the studio will use overhead studio lighting, which is controlled from the lighting board in the studio gallery, where some of them can change colour, which is good when we need to change the colour, for example for Christmas when we may want the lights green and red, or when it's Halloween we may want them orange, and these lights will make the studio feel light and airy. The lighting in the pre-records will use natural lighting and studio lights where possible, as the pre-recorded content won't always be in the studio, and it will not always be possible to use studio lighting everywhere due to needing 240 volt power. However, we can use some battery powered lighting when needed, and also we will have light reflectors if needed. The colour grade in the pre-recorded content will use 2-strip on Adobe Premiere Pro, and this will make the colours pop and make it look more vivid instead of looking dark and washed out. And the colour grading, if we are outside the studio, we can make it look warm or cool depending on what the item is about. The on-screen graphics of Timeline will be branded with the Timeline TV logo, and it will say the person's name and job title on the graphic. There will also be advert bumper graphics. These will be graphic off the intro of the show, and there will also be an introduction of the show with the opening titles, and there will also be credits at the end of the show. The sound design in the pre-recorded content will use clip-on microphones and also boom microphone as well, as this will mean we'll be able to get clear and concise audio wherever we are, as the boom microphone means we don't have to get guests to have a microphone pack. We can just simply start recording and getting on with the interviews and pre-recorded content. This means we'll free up time and we'll get more done with the time restraint. It will also mean if it's windy outside, the boom microphone helps with this, as it's a bigger microphone than the clip-on one. The sound design in the studio will use clip-on microphones to capture the presenter and guest voices, and the presenters will also have earpieces in so they can hear the director and people in the gallery, so they know what's going on and how long left of the show. Also, the sound design in the studio, we'll be able to have some sound effects depending on what we're talking about. For example, we would use a ding sound if we're doing a quiz show, for example. The set design in the studio will be a wooden backdrop with wallpaper on it, and we'll have 2 sofas in the set with a coffee table in the centre, with presenter mugs and glasses to have a drink in them. Also, there'll be a fake plant for a bit of greenery in the studio. We'll also have a TV screen for graphics to show, and when we're chatting to guests they can have a logo on it. We will also make an area near the window so we can do a more formal sit down chat and see the outside space we have access to. For the intro, I'd like it to look like the This Morning one, with a bit of a twist to reflect Newark and the college as our local area. Like theirs is London, as would be Newark. The set design in the pre-record will vary because the pre-recorded content won't always be filmed in the studio environment. It will be filmed in many separate places such as Newark Riverside Park, Farndon, Sconston Devon Park, Cameron Lane, the Children's Bremen Centre, just to name a few. But wherever possible, we'll try and dress the set to make it look nice on camera, e.g. fake plants, well lit with lighting and no paperwork left on desks. The cast and crew is Matthew Taylor, producer-presenter, Jack Barker, producer-presenter, Tasha Hewitt, floor manager, Ben Harris, lighting, Millie Canavan-Rossin is social media, Finley is director, camera 1 operator, camera 2 operator, camera 3 operator, vision mixer operator, auto key operator, sound mixer operator, live feed operator, Justin executive producer, and Mike is an executive producer. The presenting style will be formal, but not formal like in a newsroom. It will be presented in a similar style to This Morning, Lorraine and Blue Peter, but with our own style where we can laugh and joke to make the show flow better, and so the viewers are laughing too and feel they're a part of the show. The chosen editing style for the show is intentionally designed to be short and snappy, in line with the show's concise 1-hour format. This approach ensures that every moment counts and it will keep the audience engaged throughout the entire episode. However, it is essential that these edits are seamless and not overly conspicuous, maintaining a smooth and natural flow for the viewers. The running time and timeline will be 1 hour with 2 to 3 advert breaks in it, so the presenters and crew can have refreshments and, if needed, to move the set around for the next item. And when we have a guest on the show, they can get off set without being back on camera. The budget for Timeline will be around £150 to buy set items such as mugs with the presenter's initials on them, a fake plant for a bit of greenery on set, and to film the pre-recorded content for the show, as some of this will need the use of a car to get to shooting locations. And this will also buy some wallpaper to reset for the set to refresh it. The schedule will be 13 weeks to produce Timeline, 2 weeks to do the pitch, proposal and treatment, 1 week for the project brief and schedule, 4 weeks for research and development, 4 weeks for pre-production and production, post-production, reflection and marketing. The schedule will also be updated if we're ahead of schedule or slightly behind schedule, and there'll also be a calendar on the Timeline TV team on Microsoft Teams. Timeline will be distributed on YouTube by going live on YouTube channel. There will also be pre-recorded content uploaded to YouTube, and there will also be highlights of the show uploaded to YouTube. It will go on MCM Productions channel and MT Productions channel, so it gets more views and will hopefully start to get people to notice it more, so they watch more of our content. The decision to launch Timeline TV after the 2020 pandemic and the relaunch of MCM TV was driven by the need to adapt and respond to the evolving media landscape. The pandemic significantly altered the way people consume information and entertainment, pushing us to re-evaluate and revitalise our programming by relaunching MCM TV and introducing Timeline. We aim to provide fresh, relevant content that is not only catered to the challenging interests and of our audience, but also harness the power of the digital platforms to connect, educate and entertain in a post-pandemic world. Additionally, our initiative will actively involve students from Newark College and Lincoln College, recognising the importance of collaboration and the diversity of the prospects these colleges bring to the project. By bringing together students from a diverse backgrounds and regions, we aim to create a more inclusive and comprehensive representation of student life, interests and experiences in our programming. And my goals are to excel as a presenter of Timeline. It is important to adequately manage any slip-ups in our lines by smoothly incorporating improvements into the script, ultimately striving for continuous enhancement.